few days' notice, so I don't have a slide. In fact, I was told not to bring a slide, so I'm going to have a stern conversation with my marketing department after this. But I was able to whip something together really quickly, although I don't have the English accent to make up for the lack of multimedia. Right. I'm also not sure that having me go first is conducive to me networking after the show. You'll see if you see me here in 2 hours. But my name is Robert Lewis. I'm from Virtustream. We're actually probably a little bit less software-centric as far as what I'm going to talk about today. Virtustream is an end-to-end service provider that has its own management platform. So we're kind of loosely connected here. I'll give you a brief introduction about how Virtustream started. 10 years ago, we were founded under a different name, obviously, as a consulting firm that focused on P2V for Fortune 1000. So long history of partnership with VMware, one of the original partners, actually. And through that, about 3 years ago, they decided it would be a good idea to, instead of focusing on building clouds for Fortune 1000 companies on-prem, is to build our own platform. So we came up with, and not surprisingly, our market focus is enterprise class, cloud platform, and service delivery. So we focus on enterprise and government for a market segment. And some of the features that kind of identify our cloud are we have guaranteed SLAs, guaranteed performance, and guaranteed IOPS. So we focus on delivering complex enterprise IT in the cloud, such as SAP and other ERP systems. So the market focus is a little bit different than like your standard web scale kind of situation. We have what we call Xstream, which is our portal. And right now it allows you to run all of your infrastructure in multiple data centers that we own, as well as on-premises. And over the last year, we've actually had quite a bit of traction in that area. So we've got a new VP of engineering who was at VMware, the former CTO of PGP, who's taken over working on our portal internally, and taken on several directives to focus on using our own operations to help with feedback to our development team, which has given us traction in kind of the last year. We've also acquired a company called Anomaly. They have what's called ECP Cloud, and through that, we're focusing on integrating our system in there so that we can increase the robustness of our platform, right? So they have another feature that I think is going to be interesting going forward called Spot Cloud, where what we hope to do is through the network of our own hosted clients and clients where we host using Xstream on-prem to do what we call Xstream Exchange, where we'll have kind of a unused exchange of compute. So I know that I probably wasn't a full 10 minutes.
Actually, I wanted you to add one more thing.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about I don't know, I can't remember what the technology is called, but where you can actually, you have like units?
Yes.
Okay.
It's probably something I need to discuss. So one of the things that I think is interesting about the way that we provision our clouds is we provide, rather than a per VM charge, we actually provide a measurement unit called a micro VM. Now, it's not necessarily a VM as the name would indicate, but it's a subset of memory, CPU, internal IOPS, and internal network that we use to measure your usage. So each customer's provided their own private virtual cloud with a resource pool. And so we don't care how many VMs you have. We care what your total usage is. And so by doing this, we're able to segment at a more granular area than specifically VM, and allow customers to save money when they have volatile applications, which allows us to become more efficient with those legacy apps that I talked about, like ERP or an SAP. So now if you're on a cloud that has kind of application level redundancy, you can use auto scaling or multiple instances to kind of manage the flow and the workflow of your kind of your resources and your infrastructure. But some of these older apps don't have that capability. So using our micro VM measurement usage, you can take advantage of an efficient resource, which allows us to do a couple things. One, it reduces costs for customers that have kind of a volatile, like end of the quarter push up, and they don't want to have to provision larger VMs just for that specific, and then have to manage whether or not they scale down or scale up manually. And then the other thing is it's going to give us the opportunity to become to a single measurement standard that will allow us to compare resources across different platforms. So say you're not all on x86. Say there's a Solaris platform or P-Series or AX or something like that. We'll be able to compare those resources and figure out what hypervisor works best for your workload and your application, and compare those apples to apples using our measurement units rather than just a per VM and what kind of memory you're using. I should have mentioned that. Well, like I said, it was last minute.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah,
and I wanted to just comment that I originally was going to have you go last because this is a little bit forward thinking.
Yeah.
And especially if you combine the idea behind a spot cloud, which is like a spot market for are there available VMs, and then if you can also compare the performance of the VMs running in different clouds,
yeah,
you can then fairly equate them in a marketplace. So
yeah, the challenge is as technology changes, CPU performance is different across different kind of generations of even the same chip with the same size,
sure.
right? So that's a challenge, but we're working on that.
Yeah. So very interesting, and we're going to take questions at the end. So Paul,
I will wait. I'll stay.
Okay. Very good.
He raised his hand, so now I have to.
Yeah. Yep.
All right,
you
thank
do.
you guys.
Great. Thank you.